what I see. And with all those kind of attitude, there can't be any future for any political party of this country. You understand me? So that is just my own take anyway.
Okay, so you have painted a very bleak future for us now.
Yeah, and there was something when you first started the live. There was something I was even going to say, and because there was someone who said something about trying to how we can try our best to make the judiciary to be very independent. Okay, it's not just that. Also, how I wanted to say, is there a way to even make because Nigeria, all the problems are connected. The executive, the legislative, the judiciary, also a big problem, INEC. Is there a way to make INEC a fourth arm of government?
Is there a way to?
Is there a way to even make INEC a fourth arm of government? I know it doesn't exist anywhere in the world. The Electoral Commission.
Yeah.
But if you've read the Ways report, there's no reason why, and this is why I say there are lots of things we need to change because the general way the world runs the democracy and it works for them does not work for us, obviously. Something is inherently wrong in Nigeria. Because, to be honest, even in other democracies that we want to copy, there is a way that someone becomes the head of the Electoral Commission. Because there is, at the end of the day, someone has to recommend someone. Do you understand? Or where is it that the moment it comes to Nigeria, it fails? Why is it that the moment it comes to Nigeria, the bias become so prominent and so emphasized? What exactly? See, my brother, I've never seen a country that is as ill as Nigeria. I am telling you. And anyone who lives in the diaspora will know that what I'm saying is the truth.
Okay, let me say this now. Let me say this. The issue of INEC. You know, INEC is not as powerful as people think it is. INEC is powerful, don't get me wrong. Because a lot of people perceive that INEC contributed a lot to the rigging that took place in 2023. And to a large extent, I agree. But INEC is not as powerful as people think it is. Now, in 2023, it is we, through our laziness, that allowed INEC to rig us out. When there was
and please, just, I don't mean to interrupt. I remembered something. Please, when we establish this arm of prosecuting cases in Nigeria, the first person, there are people that must be prosecuted. People who go about intimidating other people not to vote. This is one of the places I want to invest my money into.
Good. So frankly,
this is one of the things that, because, bro, continue.
This is why I think that we should not paint a bleak picture for 2027 and say we don't have hope for it. One of the biggest factor that an APC or a Tinubu has going for it is voter apathy. As of 2023, in the report that INEC gave, post-election report, 94 million Nigerians collected PVC, 94 million. Only 27 million people came out to vote, which means that there is a 60 million group of people that did not vote. Now, imagine if those 60 million came out to vote. Will thugs be able to stop them? Will politicians be able to buy them? How much really can a Tinubu spend to buy votes? And how many, and the truth also must be told. You see that 60 million people that just refuse to come out to vote. There are people that really don't care about the money that politicians use to buy votes. But they simply don't care because they don't think that anything is going to change. But if we find a way to create a level playing field and give these people reasons to participate, they will come out. And if they come out, it will be almost impossible for anybody, whether INEC or co, to rig the election. This is my position. And the reason why I feel we start from the point of view of strengthening the rule of law is so that citizens can see that they also need to be invested in the process. Yes, it might not look, you see, 2027, it is not a do or die that we must win. But we must be so invested in the process that even those who win will see that, these people are a force to reckon with. I don't believe in starting from the top. I believe in starting from the bottom. If we can get enough people into councillor, into chairman, into state house of assembly, into the house of reps, and in the senate, if we can push from this perspective and get people with credibility, right? And if they are not credible enough, we have a political party that is strong enough to knock them in line. They will be able to checkmate whoever becomes president, because this whole fixation on who becomes president distracts us from the powers that we have at the grassroots. So for me, I believe that we must contribute to enforce and demystify INEC. We can demystify INEC. How can we demystify INEC? INEC needs darkness to operate, building up to the 2023 election. And I was saying it, INEC will not transmit elections real time. INEC will not transmit elections real time. I said it to some obedient group. I said it to some non-obedient group. I said it to some articulated people. INEC will not transmit elections real time. Even if you pass a law today and say, transmit election real time, INEC still, we have situations whereby even in the IRF that is not real time, you have them snapping pictures of toilets and putting and uploading. All those things will still come, because ultimately they will tell you that it is the written one that works, or even when it is the electronic one, they will still manipulate the electronic one. So what we need to do is we need to put structures in place to checkmate INEC, and it's easy. Do you know that Peter Obi did not have a national election monitoring situation room where you collect your results real time? We didn't have. So we didn't have a situation whereby we have real-time results to counter INEC. We didn't have. And this was evident when Dino Melaye was attacking Mahmoud Yakubu. Particularly at that time, they were collating for Kwara State. The INEC president and chairman said to Dino, you are saying that they rigged. You are saying that the figures are inflated in favor of APC for Kwara, for Lagos, for this. Bring your own figure. Where is your own figure? The Labour Party national coordinator jumped in and said, yes, it's inflated. And they asked him to bring your own figure. You are saying they inflated it. You are saying it was rigged. Where is your own figure? Dino Melaye could not present his own because they were not ready. All of them, from Atiku to Peter Obi, they relied on INEC, thinking that INEC would transmit. So they did not take their own situation room seriously. So I'm saying that there are things that if we put in place, we can checkmate INEC. Imagine that out of 176,000 polling units, Peter Obi only submitted only for 130,000. Out of that 130,000 polling unit agents, 90% of them were fake. Kotsi Abure. And it's not me saying it. It was Aisha Yusufu that said it with her mouth. 90% of them were fake. So after dragging and fighting for money, and Peter Obi intervened and said, okay, fine, we will give you the money, but just give us the polling unit result. They told him point blank, there is no polling unit result. So if there's no polling unit result, how do you then go to court? And all of these just highlights the fact that, yes, APC contributed to rigging. INEC contributed, Judiciary contributed, security agencies contributed, but we too, there was internal sabotage. So for me, if we say 2027 is going to be bleak, it's going to further discourage people from participating in the process. And it's going to further increase voter apathy. And that is what these people are looking for. So that is why I don't want to see it can be, I know it's going to be challenging, but I don't want us to have the mindset that 2027 is going to be bleak, because it will have a snowball effect. It will have a trickle-down effect on others. There are already people saying that forget it, they will write results. Yes, they will write, but we must then take action as much as we can to counter whatever results they want to write. We have 8,809 wards in Nigeria. What stops us from getting 8,809 cameras that are Wi-Fi enabled, that are battery powered, and we hide them in places, in those collation centers across the 8,900 wards that will be live transmitting? So we'll have hard evidence. You know, all of this is just conjecture. We are saying
the video evidence. They said it is not tenderable in court.
Admissible in court? No.
Admissible. No. Part of what is admissible to them.
It is. It is part of what. If you go to the Evidence Act, we have laws in this country. It's just that we don't follow it. If you go to the Evidence Act, right, there is a procedure, a requirement for video evidence to be tenable in court. But the problem with the video evidence we tender, particularly with respect to election, is this. You will show video evidence of thugs burning ballot paper, right? Thugs burning ballot paper. But what do you see in the video? You will have a situation whereby you don't even, it is after the thugs have come, destroyed everything and have left, then you will now see people using video or their phone to video burning ballot paper. And you say that's evidence. That does not qualify as evidence.
Okay, what sort of video can qualify as an evidence?
So what qualifies as evidence is this. If you have a video camera, which will not run when people start shooting, because you also need to understand how thugs rig. When people gather in polling units, thugs will start shooting into the air. When thugs shoot into the air, reasonable people will run because you don't have bulletproof. Then they will come, destroy ballot paper and go, right? It is after they have left that people will now start using their phone to record. Now, that is not admissible because it doesn't meet the requirements based on the Evidence Act in Nigeria. You are not seeing the face or the voice clearly of the hoodlums carrying out the act. You don't have it. So for a video evidence to be admissible, you have to capture the face, you have to capture the voice, and you have to capture the action right in that video. Then it will be admissible. So based on the Evidence Act in Nigeria, if we had camera, because when thugs shoot into the air and people run, camera will not run. And because these cameras will be small camera, right? The hoodlums will not know that the cameras are there. Meanwhile, they are Wi-Fi enabled, and we can capture and transmit this thing from there and show it live. So we can capture people's faces, people's voices right in the act. When we do that, it is admissible in court. And the truth of the matter
I trust what you said, but I'm just going to make a quick research because sometimes I like to see things that are written. You know, I'm with you here. Keep on going, but I'm with you. I'm just
okay. So the Evidence Act, it's easy. We can checkmate INEC. So INEC has 8,809 words. If we get 8,809 cameras, small ones, Wi-Fi enabled, right? Battery powered, we get them. We put them in strategic locations in those collation centers at the ward. They call it registration area, is the ward. So from the polling unit, it goes to the ward collation center. I would have said we get those cameras for the polling units. We can for some polling units, but there are 176,000 polling units. If you're going to invest in that, it will be a lot of investment. So, and I wouldn't want to, because the polling unit is also, the polling unit is manned by people. We can have people who are diehard followers of truth and respect of rule of law, like we did in our own polling units. So the camera thing may not be too necessary in the polling unit, but you can have it in some. If you put a camera somewhere in a polling unit in the north where children are voting, and you are able to capture it, and you see the hard evidence when they are voting, not when they are doing campaign, and you are able to use it and say, oh, in so polling unit, this is what happened. Children voted. Or this is what happened. They were paying 5 naira or 500 or 1,000 to people. And you see voices and you see faces. It is admissible in court. These people know it. That's why they use thugs. And they will come and they will start shooting in the air so that whoever has a camera that is recording, a phone that is recording, will run for his life. And you and I know that you cannot be running and be recording. That's what they're hiding behind. INEC can be checked. And that's one. What is the second way we can check INEC? Once the election starts, you must make sure that you have at least very credible polling unit agents. If you have very credible polling unit agents that will give you the results, then you must set up an election situation room or a collation center where you collate this result real time. So your own chef should be faster than the one of INEC. That is what they do in advanced countries. You see that the result is still coming in. CNN already has it. And many of us will make the mistake of thinking, oh, it's only INEC that can announce results, so we cannot do our own collation. It's not true. We are allowed to do our own collation. In fact, the political parties are allowed to set up their own situation room, their own collation, and they are allowed to air it. The only thing they are not allowed to do is that they cannot officially declare who a winner is. But it doesn't stop us from airing our own election results real time. So how will this help us to checkmate INEC? If I, as Labour Party, we have all our agents across the polling units, immediately the results are declared, they send the figures into an election software that will be doing the tallying automatically. Just enter it into it. Polling units, this in so state, you enter it. Immediately you finish from all the polling units in a particular ward. Before the results get to the ward collation center, your own agent at the ward level already has your results armed. So when people come and they try to manipulate the figures at the ward collation center, the agent will simply tell you, no, these are the figures from so polling unit, these are the figures, it's supposed to be so for APC, it's supposed to be so for PDP. They are armed with information to counter INEC at that collation center. Because all the rigging in 2023 happened at the ward collation center. Once they manipulated the figures from there, it was easy to cascade the figures up to the local government, up to the state, and up to the national. So this is a second way that we can put INEC in check. And if you can observe, it is something that we as a people can easily do. These two things. And then we must also now engage in a campaign to make sure that Nigerians see the need to come out. That 60 million voters that have their PVC that never come out, we must encourage them to come out. We must encourage them to come out so that they can participate. If there is overwhelming participation, it will be impossible for them to rig. These three things alone, we can put INEC in check. And then, putting INEC in check, we can also put the police in check because we have cameras. We provide video evidence for them, all right? And then put other people in check as well. These things are doable, and it only requires planning and execution. It's part of the things we hope to plan. So let me give you Smart. You say you have something to say on the INEC matter. Please go ahead.
Yes. Okay. Thank you very much, Mr. Lomu. In fact, I so much like you because you what the points you are making are so brilliant, so brilliant. They are points that, if well applied, they will bring serious solution to some of the issues we have at hand. Okay, but now concerning this method of checkmating INEC, when we want to take a step especially something of this serious matter, we want to also look at the risk attached to the process and then be able to mitigate or prevent the risk. Now, if you want to checkmate INEC at the polling unit, maybe by using a Wi-Fi enabled camera, the way Nigerians behave, the way talks behave. How will it be possible for you to go early to the polling unit and install or set up the cameras, and then there won't be anybody to see that you are setting up a camera? You get my point? Because if they notice that you are putting up a camera there, it can bring an attack on the individual. Those talks can deal with the person, and it could also lead to loss of life. I don't know if you understand. Like, let's say the talks just notice that this person is setting up a camera. When they notice that this person is setting up a camera and that camera is going to implicate them, show up their activities, they can attack the person, injure the person, destroy the camera, or even kill the person, maybe in some extreme cases. So I am thinking what you said is very, very good, but then we now look at the way we can manage that risk, because so that risk can claim lives of election agents, party agents at the polling unit. Because even if you go very early, there are individuals, one or two or three, that can notice that this person is setting up a camera, and then they will begin to monitor the person, and they may even go and report and say this person set up a camera. And because of the nature of Nigeria today, those talks can come up and say, why did you put up a camera here? Why did you put up a camera? From there, they can start attacking the person, and which, if unfortunately is not managed well, it can lead to loss of life. So we just need to look at that risk and how it can be prevented.
I like the response that Toyosi has given to you first. I will start from that response. He says, let's risk it, then see the outcome. You know what they say about risk? No risk, no reward. That's the starting point. The people that are responsible for Nigeria being the way it is, they take risks. So if we want Nigeria to change and we think we will not take risk, we are joking. That's the first part. We must take risk. Now that is out of the way, the second point is this. There is no law against setting up camera.
We can use drone technology.
Thank you. There is no law that goes against setting up camera. And you don't even know the type of camera I'm talking about. I'm talking about very small cameras, miniature cameras that you don't need plenty setup time. You just stand beside a wall or beside a pole. You can just stick it and it's seeing everything. Nobody will see that you are there. And in any case, the third point, we will tell them, we will announce it, that we are coming to polling unit with our camera. You know why we will announce it? So that it will also serve as a deterrence to them, so that they will know that, look, these people are coming prepared. And whatever they want to do, they will do it far away from the polling units. We will tell them. Many people don't understand why Tinubu went to UK to make that statement that he made about power is not served a la carte. You have to grab it, you have to snatch it, you have to run with it. That video was not leaked by mistake. It was a deliberate act in their strategy to strike fear into the hearts of people that Tinubu is a very vicious politician, is ready to take people's lives to reach or achieve his goals. It's to strike fear into the hearts of people. So we will reverse engineer that process and announce to them, INEC, if you like, let them give you electoral act to say electronic transmission is a must. We will still do our own. Tinubu, if you like, bring your thugs. This time around, all these insufficient, inadmissible video evidence that we have always had, because the thugs come in with their guns first and then people run. It is when they have caused their havoc and they have left, that is when people will now start recording with their phone. All those ones are a thing of the past. This one, it will be live action. As it is happening, we are streaming it to the world for people to see, with voices, with faces. We will announce it to them. We will strike fear in them too. Do you understand? We will strike fear. And somebody is even saying, Bashorun guy is saying, they are less than 3 USD on AliExpress. Very cheap. And if we place order for 8,000, we can even get the value down to 1,000 USD. Sorry, 100 USD, 1 USD. So with less than $10,000, $20,000, we will get all these things that we're talking about across the 8,809 words. And we'll have evidence, and that will be streaming live. These are the strategic things that we should be thinking about, not just thinking, oh, see, me, the way I want us to prepare for 2027 is we hope for the best, we prepare for the worst. Let Tinubu be the candidate of APC, be the INEC chairman, be the head of the security agency, be the Supreme Court justice. I want us to plan in such a way that we'll defeat him combined.
Exactly.
That is what to do. We can clamor for polling unit, electoral reforms, clamor for all of those. Yes. If we get it, glory be to God. We hope for the best. But if the best does not come, we must be ready for the worst. And it's only by taking strategic action. Strategic action. We can't continue to say, oh, they will write election. Let them write too. We will shine light on that writing. It will be clear and evident to the whole world that they wrote. All these cases that it will now be left to we're not depending on 24%, 25% of FCT. Those are secondary. This one, we go winner first from the polling unit. And then we will have the result because 200,000 polling units. Do you want to tell me that we can't get 600,000 polling unit agents? Where one polling unit agent will be watching the other polling unit agents? Because what happened in Edo, what happened to Peter Obi must not happen again. In Edo, PDP, in Edo gubernatorial election, PDP agents were bought. They sold out. The same thing happened. In fact, one of the reasons why INEC has not deregistered a lot of these 18 political parties is because INEC needs them to rig. The rule, the Electoral Act specifies conditions for deregistering political parties. If you don't meet certain criteria, then INEC will deregister you. The political parties did not meet those criteria. There are a lot of them that did not even have one councillor. And they're supposed to be deregistered, but they have not been deregistered. Why? Because when they rig election in a particular polling unit or in a particular state, and a particular political party is aggrieved and says, I will not sign the Form EC8A, other parties will sign because they want INEC's good, they want to be in INEC's good book. And once they sign, your own is, you don't finish. So INEC needs them. So for us, what do we need? We need to put all of those in check and say from the polling unit to our agent must be incorrigible. They say they gave them 100,000 in Edo and they gave up and sold PDP to APC. So we will now say, okay, look, our polling unit agents, polling unit agent 1, we have polling unit agent 2. The polling unit agent 1 does not know, is watching him. So polling unit agent 1 will be told that there are 2 other agents watching you in that polling unit. So you cannot sell out. And in any case, if we open up the political terrain with Abundance Party, it is credible people who are running for office, who have something to lose, that will now become polling unit agents. When we do this, we create a very strong team of people that cannot be bought. And once that happens, forget, if we have our Form EC8A in hand, what happened to Adeleke in Osun is what will not happen to us. They will not be able to rig us out because we have the Form EC8A, and that is the basic unit of election in Nigeria. Form EC8A. That was why the Supreme Court fined Peter Obi's lawyers because they did not submit Form EC8A. They were busy pursuing disqualification, pursuing 25% of the FCT, pursuing extraneous things, leaving the cocoa of the matter unattended. So in 2027, if we know all this and we prepare, what are you talking about? If Tinubu let him combine the role of INEC chairman, combine the role of security agency, combine the role of judiciary, we will defeat him if we do the right thing. And all of this, see, it will help us to focus on rule of law, rule of law, rule of law, rule of law, instead of allowing ourselves to get discouraged. This is the message I want us to taking along. I don't know if you want to say something, Ebiama.
Oh, I don't. Well, you've said everything anyway. You said all, and all your points are okay. Like the other lady said, that we should take a risk. But there's something I really want to wish. I mean, because I'm not totally grounded in this political stuff. But there's something I want to ask. Like the this thing that we normally thumbprint on. Is there a way we can get like that camera you're talking about? Is there any way we can do it in a way whereby we can capture that particular voter slip whereby everybody normally do their thumb printing and all that? Is there any way we can put the camera to capture that particular thing so that we know how far? I don't know if you understand me.
No, I don't. Take it again.
Okay, what I mean is the place where we normally thumbprint our finger in terms of voting. You understand me? I'm asking, like the camera, the checkmate that you're talking about now, the camera that you say we're going to implant there. Is there a way we can put the camera whereby it can capture that thumbprinting slip, that voting slip that has every party restriction, whereby you can just go and put your finger on? Like, is there any way you can capture that particular thing?
So the first question is, why do you want to capture that? What do you need it for?
Okay, well, like I said anyway, I said I'm not really fully grounded in the whole system.
Yeah, so this is what you need to look at. It is what you need that you want to capture. Okay. You need Form EC8A. Okay. That is the basic unit of elections. And the Supreme Court ruling against the petitions of Atiku and Peter Obi, the Supreme Court ruling stated it. The basic unit of election in Nigeria is polling unit from EC8A. Somebody is saying rubbish to me here. Says, nah, rubbish na the talk. 2023 INEC was monitored and your court denied. Now you want to give false hope. I beg, make una pack well. Like I said, these are the people that are paid to come and be saying rubbish online so that people will be discouraged. What is the false hope in saying that people should prepare to participate in an election process? What is the false hope in that? Is it not something that we're supposed to do normally, even if we don't believe we're going to win? Are we not supposed to participate in an election process?
Of course.
So when people collect money and the money just blinds their brain and they cannot think again, they just come online and they begin to say rubbish just to make the people who paid them that money pleased that they are saying something. We must guard against these kind of things. Let's not allow anybody to discourage us from what we need to do. If we act smartly, these people, they know. You know, I like what Basharin Ga, the way he puts it. He said the camera idea is fantastic also. In a few cases, we can get 40 to 50 minutes mic to, I think that should be, is it minutes or meters? Yes, meters mic to pick videos. Beautiful. These are the things that we should be talking about, because truth be told, if we do things right, we have a chance. If we do things right, we have a chance. Granted, worst case scenario, Tinubu wins again. No problem. But that will not have stopped us from doing what we need to do.
Yeah.
Normally, we're supposed to participate in electoral process. I am saying, let us participate. But in participating, let us participate smartly. Is that too much to ask? And somebody's coming to say, oh, you're giving false hope because you have paid him one or two small money. No, let's not allow people like that to discourage us. I'm reading Henry Chude. Chude is saying, I said it earlier, we have to prepare with technology. Apart from cameras, we also need to deploy drones, satellite, and live streaming, etc. Yes, that's exactly what Franklin has said and Bashorunga has said. You know, we have to think smartly. If we think smartly, we can outsmart these people. They believe that all we are thinking about is protest to use gra. And they are ready for us with that. They are ready for us with that. And because they know that, oh, we don't have bulletproof now. If they shoot tear gas in the air, they shoot bullet, same people will start to run. Like we started to run when we went for End Bad Governance protests. And Toyosi was with us in that End Bad Governance. So was, what's his name? The Simple Star. We were together in one car. Say we are going for protest. They shot the tear gas into my car. They shot the tear gas. I almost died because the car was in motion. So when they do that, we in fact, we were running for our lives first. It took us over 30 minutes before we could regain our senses. They know that when they do this, people will run. And when people run, they will do whatever they want to do quickly. No evidence. This police will do their own very quickly. No evidence. In fact, something happened. They attacked Simple Star and almost they destroyed his phone. We had to go to this thing to go and fix it. This one, the 27th production is saying, let's fight electoral reform. First, INEC must be reformed. Yes, we'll fight for electoral reform, but that is hoping for the best. And in the approach that I'm suggesting we use is we hope for the best and we prepare for the worst. We'll fight for electoral reform. If they give us electoral reform, fine. Thank you, Father. Thank you, Jesus. Alhamdulillah. But if they don't give us electoral reform, what do? We sit down like Dekpe and be looking and throw our hands and be crying and weeping. I don't want to be the one to weep in 2027. Even if we lose, the people who win, they will be the one to cry. Because we would have shaken them thoroughly.
They are never going to make any electoral reform. It is certain. You can take that to the bank. It's not going to happen. Refresh, please, for the interest of the people who are listening. I think it's imperative that we explain what the Form EC8 is. How is it obtained? Who is the person who is able to get from EC8? Also, the responsibility or the need to have the party agents. Because it's not just anyone cannot have just go and have from EC8. The person must be registered to. I think with INEC as an agent, the polling unit agent. So if you can throw more light on that so that people can actually understand.
Okay. The Form EC8A is the original result sheet from the polling unit. The original result sheet from the polling unit. Now, all the registered political parties will have a copy each. The security agencies will have a copy each, right? Then, yes, those people, they are statutory people that must collect a copy each, right? And then the political party agent that is in the list that was submitted to INEC for that polling unit, right? That political party agent is the one that will sign on behalf of the political party on that Form EC8A. So if there are 20 political parties and different agencies, each of the polling unit agents will sign on all of them. So they are all originals. So each political party agent will sign on all of it, and then the security agencies and all that. So you will take the political party agent will now be the person to take the one for his political party back to his political party. That original is the one that you can now tender in court. That is the one that Peter Obi's lawyers did not submit, that the Supreme Court fined Peter Obi's lawyers for. And Peter Obi was not able to submit it because he was jeopardized and sabotaged by Abure's fake party agent list, according to Aisha Yusufu, because some people were fighting to collect money for party agents. And I was saying, look, if we had, there were people, I was willing to be a party agent for free. Don't give me any money. There are people who were willing to be party agents for free. Don't give me money. But you see, Abure did not allow that because they wanted to use paying party agent as an excuse to steal money. So on election day, they kept pestering Aisha Yusufu pestering Aisha Yusufu, give us money to send to this party agent. And the young lady, the woman said, no, send the numbers to me. Shebi is transfer. We have cashless policy. They said, no, you have to send it to us. We have to be the one to distribute it. And Aisha refused. The matter got escalated to Peter Obi. And when Peter Obi intervened, I said, okay, fine, we will give you the money. Bring the form EC8A. They said, we don't have form EC8A. That is how they sabotage him from within. And that is the power of the form EC8A. If we win the battle of form EC8A first, I can assure you we'll be on the journey to winning that election, or at least making sure that it is credible. Because the credibility of the election, the rigging, starts from what they do. They know that the polling unit is very important. So what they do is, where they know that they don't have strength, right? They will disrupt it. They will disrupt it. Where they know that the opponent is weak, they will disrupt it, right? So that you cancel election in those polling units. But they are also careful so that they don't cancel too many polling units and then you now declare the election inconclusive. They are careful. So all the violence in the election, out of the 176,000 polling units, you can't find election violence in more than maybe 20,000, it's not even up to 20,000 polling units. You can't have election violence in up to 10,000 polling units. So why do they do that? Because when you have only 100 cases of violence, it will appear as though it is very, very rampant. But they know what they are doing. They have calculated it. Those election violence are less than 10,000 polling units. Because if it's more than 20,000, then it will significantly affect the outcome of the election, and then INEC will be forced to declare the election as inconclusive. So that is why they go to strategic polling units to do what they do. So, but for us, if we have credible polling unit agents in the polling units, substantially credible, and then we have succeeded in mobilizing those 60 million voters to come out, we will make rigging almost impossible for them. And once we have sorted that out from EC8A, and we go to the collation center at the registration area, which is the World Collation Center, and as we have the camera, the Wi-Fi cameras capturing voice and audio, we have drones capturing activities from upstairs, capturing the activities of the police, capturing the activities of the DSS, and the activities. They won't have a choice. Because you see, police, military, they act in darkness. That's why you see that a police officer or a soldier will almost take your life if they see that you were recording them when you were doing something illegal. Because video evidence against a police officer or a soldier is dismissal. You can't dispute it. So they can almost take your life for it when they know that you have videoed them. That's why they are very brutal about it. So if we can engage these strategies to make sure that we expose, we shine light on the activity, they will mellow. They will mellow because the world is watching. Even their backers in the IMF and the World Bank will not be able to defend them when the evidence comes out in the open. So the form EC8A, very, very crucial. Very, very crucial. And the opposition political parties have failed because they have not planned crucially enough for the form EC8A. They have not planned crucially enough. I would have thought that the lessons of 2023 would have been learned for Edo election. They didn't learn. Even when I was offering to give them free of charge an election management software that will help you collate results in real time and empower your polling unit agents at the collation center, nobody cared. They didn't care. Everybody was thinking about how they were going to buy votes because they were counting that there will be voter apathy and people will not have the mind to come out. You know? So if we are going to tackle 2027, we have to do it with strategy, with serious strategy. And if we go strategically enough, we can defeat them. I know that for a fact. I don't know if I've been able to clear or explain it enough. If anybody wants to add one or two things to the form EC8A, please add. But Franklin, did I do well?
Okay. But please, what I would like us going forward is this, because, you know, a lot of Nigerians don't know about this from EC8. And if we have plans for 2027, it becomes so imperative that almost every day, every week, we ring it into people's memories what it is from ECA88, the imperativeness. And when you look also, because I mean, in our previous life, there are people who are talking about electoral reform. Electoral reform. While we're having these conversations, which part of, because I don't think, personally, I believe they don't want to do electoral reform and they're not going to do it. But that does not also mean that while we are preferring solution and while we are speaking and while we are talking, because at the end of the day, we don't know who this video is going to get to or when it's going to get to them. There has been a video I watched some weeks ago where they said INEC, they are talking about how to, the PVC, whatever, because of course we know that there was a lot of errors with the PVC. I feel strongly that if there is even any place where certain amendments can be made to stop disenfranchising people, it starts from the PVCs. Where
No, frankly, the difference of disenfranchising people, PVC, is minute. Let me give you a statistic. All this cry about, oh, they did not let me collect PVC. They did not let me collect the PVC. Oh, there are some PVCs that were thrown in the gutter. Is the names were Igbo people's names. Oh, see, all of those figures were less than 4 million. All of them. Now, in Nigeria, as I speak to you, if you go to INEC's own report, electoral report, the post-2023 election report, is there on their website. 94 million people have collected PVC. 94 million Nigerians, as I speak with you now, have PVC. So let's even work with that. And this hope for the best and prepare for the worst thing is the approach we must give it. Let's even assume that they refuse to give us this electoral reform, which we can push anyway. We can push it, just that even the opposition, they are not willing. I would have expected that by now, PDP would have forced their senators and their House of Rep members to say, present a bill to amend the Electoral Act. None of them have done that. None. Not Labour Party, not NNPP, not PDP. They have not forced their senators to sponsor any such bill. Peter Obi is coming out, he's talking, we need electoral reform. Everybody's shouting, we need electoral reform. We're shouting it on social media. If we want electoral reform, there's only one place electoral reform can come from. We write through the National Assembly. We can do a citizens' bill. We can write the reform the way we want it and submit it to our senator and say, my senator, maybe you were too busy doing the work, but this is the amendment that we have made to this Electoral Act 2022, making it mandatory for INEC to do electronic transmission and electronic result collation. And then we now say, okay, it's for you to go and submit. And we wait and be watching their plenary every day to see whether they submit it. If after 1 week, 2 weeks, 1 month, they didn't submit, we go back to them again and say, why didn't you submit our bill for reforms of elect? We are not doing that. We'll just sit down and we say, 2027, there'll be no election if there's no electoral reform. Who will give you electoral reform? Akpabio or Tinubu? It has to be demanded. Now, I am saying, we must demand for it, not just talk. We must take action. We must go to the National Assembly. We must force them to submit bills to reform it. But all of that is still best case scenario. It's still hoping for the best. Worst case scenario is they don't give us electoral reform. What happens then? And that's what I'm saying. Worst case scenario, we must be prepared to go into the 2027 election knowing that we are not only going against Tinubu, we are going against Tinubu and INEC and Judiciary and Security Agency, and then we this. It has to be solutions driven. It cannot be, it's the future is bleak. The the future is only as bleak as we allow it to be. The future is only as bleak as we allow it to be. If we want the future to be bright, we can make it bright. INEC is not so powerful. And let's not forget, Mahmoud Yakubu is going in October. Mahmoud Yakubu is going in October. A lot of the commissioners are going in October with him. So new ones are going to be coming. How are we preparing for that? By now, we should start projecting and making sure, shouting and making sure that they don't come and bring APC people as INEC chairman, APC people as electoral commissioners. These are the things that we should be looking at. But talking about electoral reform, yeah, I want it to. I desire it. But that is best case scenario. That is hoping for the best. If INEC does not give us electoral reform, National Assembly does not give us electoral reform, people do not come out to actively demand electoral reform, oh, no problem. We prepare, we use the worst case scenario. We prepare for the worst. And the worst is we know we are not only going against Tinubu, we are going against an established gang of corruption. Yes? So we prepare with our light. Because while they thrive in darkness, they cannot stand light. We are the light. Let's bring our light. But most times we just cower. We just cower. I don't know. Ezoye, good luck. I'm seeing, I don't know, is he still here? Let me see if he's here. Simple. Where you dey? Let me invite you to come up. Ezoye, what do you have to? What's your contribution? Ezoye.
Yeah, I really don't have any contribution for today. I think it has been more of a learning experience for me, understand, compared to the previous life. So I've gained lots of ideas, lots of insight. So I'm still trying to process the whole thing, but I think this is amazing so far. Yeah.
Fantastic. Thank you very much. Let's power tap. Let's get the likes to 20,000. Simple. Afana, how you dey? I've been trying to get you since day 4 yesterday. I've started doing live. Oh.
So your emotion that's strong, Grisha number. It's not for the weak, sir. It's not for the weak. You'll be there, you're saying something important. It's not for the weak. You're saying something important. You're seeing two people listening. You just have to continue there regardless. I rather I know easy.
Refresh.
Yeah.
So I think my network is. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Go ahead.
I'll let her to speak first.
Oh my father. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Simple. Go ahead.
You can hear me?
Yes.
Okay, sir. So we said we were going to meet on Friday. Last week Friday now, right?
Yes.
I call you, my brother. Your phone go. I not gonna wait to happen. No, you know pick.
No.
On Friday.
Me try call you now. You not pick.
Jesus Christ.
I'm telling you.
Nigeria. And I don't see your missed call. I didn't see them. If I've seen it, I would have called back.
The call did not connect.
I didn't see your missed call
at all.
That means it's network. But the one I did on Friday, because you and I were supposed to go to the National Assembly together, but
go to INEC.
Yes, but your number couldn't connect, and I waited. And say Pastor Chris come Abuja. That that he come, but he host a virtual crusade in National Stadium that day, and then Christ Embassy people want me to play there. Yes. They want me, that's on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Sunday was the grand finale. So that Friday, before I went there, I looked at my time. I know I will be having about 4 hours free. So I said, let me call you so that we go that movement. I call you about 3 times, your number, you ring, but you no pick. So I just had to, maybe you are so busy because say you.
No, funny
your
enough,
name
I
busy signal.
Me, they try to call you. Funny enough, I don't see your call. We can check out. You not see your call. This is interesting. They not be DSS, they do us like
I don't understand what I don't understand what's happening with MTN anymore. And my phone was on all throughout today. So no
funny enough, I was thinking of porting to MTN because I've been having issues with is it 9 Mobile? I've been having serious issues with 9 Mobile. I've been having serious issues with 9 Mobile. I don't see this is my call log now. No, your call not the.
Oh. The Lord is good, Sha. Anyway, we bless God. So at the end of the day, you see, I like the things you said. You see, I like the things you said. That's being proactive. Get ready for the worst. Don't get ready for the best. And we always do that all the time. We do that all the time. So what if they don't agree the electoral reforms? Well, what are we going to do? Are we going to kill them? Are we going to say, oh, heaven will fall? Of course, nothing will happen, even if they don't do all of those things. So it's just for us to get set. The problem is the talk is cheap, Mr. Refresh. The talk is truly, truly, truly cheap. Mostly when it gets to do with Nigerians, the talk is cheap. And like I tell people all the time, if you look at, you are somebody who is your nature is proactive. I've looked at you, I've seen that you don't even know how to be reactive. That's the reason a lot of your videos, you don't react to what is trending. You just want to see what you want to see. Whether I gave his honor is none of your business. You get. So I've seen that you don't have even reaction in you. You are opposite a lot of Nigerians. It's not for me to praise you. I'm just trying to tell you what I have seen, and I'm somebody who will always say what is actually the reality. So the truth of the matter, what you said on this live, the few times I have listened, you actually try to be proactive. But the problem is, Refresh, for us to get these things done, we have to galvanize a lot of Nigerian youth on our side. That's where the problem lies. Because right now, I was on C. Joseph. Was it C. Joseph Lives? Okay, C. Joseph was on a live, so I entered that live. By virtue of me being on that live, I realized that the guy is actually not a political person. But because of the new EU regulation, I'm sure you would have seen the new EU regulation, all right, where they said that they want to deport a lot of immigrants.
Oh, okay.
And then they will keep them, yes, they will keep them in a prison for 1 year. And what are they going to be do? I mean, what would they be doing for that 1 year? It's just for them to ascertain where they are from. And after 1 year, they will be deported back to their country. And that prison must not be anywhere in the EU. So the prison has to be in Africa. So in essence, you are taking Africans from your country as prisoners in their own continent, keep them for 1 year in their own continent, then return them back to wherever you think they are from. So immediately they heard that, they started talking about politics. When I read their intention, I didn't want to say anything, but then I just said, we are all Nigerians, so let's be our brother's keeper. Then I started saying that at this point in time, you don't need Pella's life. If you go to Pella's life and you stay there, I don't know what you're doing there, to be honest. At this point in time, you don't need Sabino's life. Any life where they are not proactive about political issues, political happenings, leave that life. Okay, you may drop a comment there, or maybe even come to the panel, school them, and leave. And do you know, and because it's a platform of matchmaking, so the crowd was really much. So they thought it was matchmaking that night. So the crowd was really much that night. I think we'll have about 700 people on the live. And because of C. Joseph influence, the guy even had to bring me up because C. Joseph asked him to bring me up. So when you know me, very, very, very vocal. I'm very, very, when I talk my things, when they provoke me, they shout, I dey on top of my voice. Then some Nigerians, yes, the Nigerians, I realize that so many of them that are there are like young adults. Many of them girls, all these youth, you know, all these liberal youth we get these days. They don't take politics serious. Nothing mean anything to them. They were there. Plenty of them. When I mean plenty of them. When I said that, it be like say I throw salt for water where earthworm day. All of them vibrate. They all open their mic. Am I stupid? Why would I say they should know? Oh, so listen to Pella's life. We remove Tinubu. If I don't listen to Tinubu live there, but they started talking. When they were done talking, I'm telling you, instead of what they were, anybody that opened mic, after I was done talking, started attacking me. At the end of the day, the following day, I think I went to see Joseph's life. I told her that, now you see the problem of Nigeria. She was laughing. I said, Shebi, you don't see her now. Say, it's actually not the British, first of all. It's our mentality. Because I was saying something yesterday on my life that, listen, no matter how we criticize Britain, even if Britain decide to leave us right now, or let's say Britain decide to take us back to 1920, 1990, 1900, right? That they met us. Give us only 2 months. We will come back to the status quo that we are in. We will come back to it because of who we are already, who we have, who we are right now. Our mentality is so all of these proactive measures that you are talking about, you and I and a few people on this life can't even get a polling unit done. It is about getting Nigerian youths. And these same Nigerian youths are all distracted all over the place. Too many distractions. And we need, see, for you to fight this power that be, we need these people. We need them. So how to get them on board? That's where the problem lies. How to, and with the fact that so many of them don't even want to consider politics as a talk that they should give attention to. That's where the problem lies. So I think let me mute here so another person can talk. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you so much, Simple Star. Simple Star was one of the people that got tear gassed at the End Bad Governance protest.
You did not add yourself, oh. Your eyes were red,
I added myself. In fact, that day I can never forget. They tear gassed us inside a moving vehicle. My God, I was choking. In fact,
it was a miracle that you even survived it.
I'm telling you now, TLC was in the car doing live. To die in a small thing, no person will just die. I tell you, I so you see, we need to be smart about it. I get what you mean. Look at now, all these shouting and they vibrate. Yes, since now we be like say dead person say for don't even rise the way they vibrate. Yeah, now only 8 of us 90. Yeah.
To be honest, sir, I said that day when we say they shoot the tear gas, when I jumped, come up for your car. You know, when I jumped out, I found myself in the den of army and police. You were the one that came to my rescue. If not, they don't arrest. They don't jack me now. They don't jack me. So
this whole process and all of these things now, all of these things will happen. And then we'll say protest. Next protest, I'm going with my sense too. I'm going with my sense. See, would that protest not have worked if we decided that, okay, let us stay inside the stadium? All of us gather inside that stadium, and that stadium is 60,000 capacity. All of us sit down inside the stadium. We begin dance, we begin sing. And then we get drones, take the shot, take camera, they video everybody, they interview people. We post them online. Would it not have had the same effect? If not a better effect, it would have had a better effect. But sometimes we just believe that if we never cause violence, these people, you can't teach your father how to marry you. Your father get experience of how to marry. Now they take born you. So person who don't get experience of how to marry 20, 30 years ago, you can't come now. So you be Gen Z, you be Gen Alpha. You want to teach your papa how to marry. No, now. These people have been doing protests when protest was protest. So they know the ins and outs of protest. And mind you, no protest succeeds in Nigeria without the backings of the IMF and the World Bank. And the backings, the IMF and World Bank will only back a protest when the government of the day is not doing their bidding. And as they will have it, we have a Tinubu's administration that is giving them everything they want. Is servicing them, so they cannot come and back our protest. They will not bring money the way they brought money during NSAS. You know, it's money. If food beat hunger beat people, 1 day, 2 days, tear gas them. They go sit down for their house. That is why Shebi we were there. The next day we went. Did people come?
No, for real.
The third day, the people come. Nobody came. Everybody sat in their houses. And then you be shouting protest for a Tinubu. When Sabi protest.
The funny thing, sir. The funny thing is that you see Nigerians coming online saying that was how one came. Was it? Okay, I think it was Joseph's life. One came to Joseph's life and was saying that Nigerians are not serious. And I told him, sorry, sir. Sorry, sir. The last protest, were you there? In all honesty, were you there? He said he does not have to be there. I said that's the problem. That you were not there and you are coming here to shout. Eh? Tosi, you saw me at Better Christian Center on Sunday. The Lord is good. I cannot hide anymore. Somebody now know me.
You must bring the honorarium most simple.
So basically, the same people that when you come for protest, they won't come. The same people will come on and say we are not ready. I don't understand the meaning of hypocrisy. If we come for revolution, none of us will come out. Then we are expecting, in your head, you are thinking the other person should come out. Then that person that you are expecting to come out, when the person refuses to show up, and that same person that you are expecting to show up, the person is still looking at you that you should be the one to come out. And then you yourself, you are looking at him that he should be the one to come out. Then at the end of the day, when the two of you refuse to show up, we come online here because this is where it's comfortable. This is our balanced, how am I going to put it now? Our comfort zone to spill anything you want to spill. Even when you want to spill, you don't want to mention name, you don't want to release your camera, your picture is not on your profile, so you are safe in every ramification. You can say whatever thing you want to say, and at the end of the day, you come out to start blaming people that, oh, listen, you don't think Nigerians are ready. I think you should first of all blame yourself. Somebody else wants to talk.
Okay, no problem. It's okay. I should be rounding off the live now. Very important takeaway. Let's hope for the best and prepare for the worst, and then we can check INEC against 2027 elections. And the preparations have to start now. Peter Obi, Sowore, Al Mustafa, Adebayo, all these people, they must understand you can't go into 2027 thinking that all you just need to do is talk about Tinubu, his bad policies. If the people are hungry enough, then they will come. No. It won't happen like that. We have to put all this, we have to go into 2027 election knowing that we are going against INEC, we are going against the security agencies, we are going against thugs, we are going against Tinubu, and we are going against the judiciary. And then we must begin to act smartly with all the suggestions that we made today. We'll talk about some of them tomorrow, but we've been here now for almost 3 hours. For those of you who are joining us on YouTube, we started late. That's why it's just 1 hour on YouTube. We started way beyond before this. So we'll continue it again tomorrow. Thank you, Simple, for joining. Thank you, everybody, to your seat. Thank you. We'll have to cut the live now so that I can go and eat. Like I said, I didn't eat before coming. And now my stomach is beginning to bite me. Thank you. Let's see tomorrow.